The end is nigh, nigh Bevan, 1948. That is why no amount of cajolery and no attempts at ethical or social seduction can eradicate from my heart a deep burning hatred for the Tory party that inflicted those bitter experiences on me. So far as I am concerned, they are lower than vermin. They condemned millions of first-class people to semi-starvation. Now the Tories are pouring out money and propaganda of all sorts and are hoping by this organised, sustained mass suggestion to eradicate from our minds all memory of what we went through. But I warn you, young men and women, do not listen to what they are saying now. Do not listen to the seductions of Lord Woolton. He's a very good salesman. If you're selling shoddy stuff, you have to be a good salesman. But I warn you, they have not changed, or if they have, they are slightly worse than they were. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey everyone, put your hands together and listen to the sermon. The Tories are lower than vermin. The Tories are lower than vermin. They've had 14 years to screw it up, and now they must be squirmin. The Tories are lower than vermin. The Tories are lower than vermin. Whether you work in Fishin or Fermin, Tories are lower than vermin. The Tories are lower than vermin. So let's not let them day mair Hermin. Tories are lower than vermin. The Tories are lower than vermin. They're a bit to the right of Martin Bormann. Tories are lower than vermin. The Tories are lower than vermin. Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Tories are lower than vermin. The Tories are lower than vermin. It's a nasty job, but the dog needs wormin. The Tories are lower than vermin. The Tories are lower than vermin. If you get an egg to fertilise, make sure it's not got Tory eyes before you put the sperm in. The Tories are lower than vermin. The Tories are lower than vermin. If you're keen to say it or French or German, the Tories are lower as vermin. The Tories are lower as vermin. Or les Tories sont pires que la vermine. Les Tories sont pires que la vermine. La 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 la. We're not ashamed about the lack of political balance in this song. It's a partisan tub we're thumping. The Tories are lower than vermin. The Tories are lower than vermin. Don't cast your vote like those who wear crowns of gold and cloaks of ermine. The Tories are lower than vermin. The Tories are lower than vermin. Whether you live in Liverpool, Manchester, Newcastle, Birmingham, the Tories are lower than vermin. The Tories are lower than vermin. And when they get kicked out, why don't we throw a big party? Yeah, man. The Tories are lower than vermin. The Tories are lower than vermin. The wind of change is a-coming. The Tories are lower than vermin. The Tories are lower than vermin. On the 4th of July, the end will be nigh, 'cause it's then that we will determine. The Tories are lower than vermin. The Tories are lower than vermin. And one more thing, if you happen to be walking along in Clacton-on-Sea, buy a milkshake, make it a large, to throw in the face of Nigel Farage, 'cause Nigel is lower than vermin. Yes, Nigel is lower than vermin. And the Tories are lower than vermin. Yes, the Tories are lower than vermin. Yes, the Tories are lower than vermin. Yes, the Tories are lower than vermin. Let's vote them.